Hey YouTube, you know I had to buy one of these when they dropped into the hobby shop the same day. Looks like we're gonna be go for a 16th scale Nitro swap on the Losi LMT. So I thought I'd just show off the layout and show you what I think the component placement's gonna be. We're rocking the SH07. It's the same engine I've used in most of my builds, except this is the airplane version because that's the only one I could find. But it turns out that was a good thing because the airplane version has a shorter cooling head, and that shorter cooling head just barely clears the engine. So from the outside, probably the most striking thing is this exhaust. This is actually an RC airplane exhaust. That's made by SH, so they're still made and easy to get, and they have one hell of a manifold. I'm probably going to cut this manifold and put a rubber in between the two of them so I can angle the pipe slightly off. I really like that look. It's a stinger, just kind of sitting out sideways. This does not interfere with the rear tire when the shocks move all the way down, so I like that exhaust placement, and if I leave that there, I'll have to cut the pipe a touch shorter, but it basically lines up exactly with where the engine's going to sit. We got the 1 ounce round fuel tank wedged right between the frame rails. That's going to fit really nicely. Makes refueling a pain, but it's small enough so that I don't have to trim out any of this upper body stuff. That should basically be unchanged. I'm going to mount my receiver pack back here high and to the rear because I want this to do wheelies desperately. It's got to do wheelies. It's Monster Jam. If it doesn't do wheelies, I'm going to cry. We've got a Spectrum SRX 200 receiver. That might go there. It might go back here somewhere. I don't know. Throttle servo mounted fairly close to the engine. Linkages to be determined, but I already know I'm going to want to run the now classic fuel line rubbing against the clutch bell for brake. Most importantly, and the one thing that was holding me back from starting this sooner, was the transmission setup. So this gear right here is effectively the spur gear, and it's not really anything you can change, and it's mod 5. So I had to look and scour the internet and think, configure, and do some converting. But it turns out that mod 5 is awfully close to 48 pitch. So we're going to roll the dice with a 48 pitch clutch bell, which luckily X-Ray just happens to make. Now, I don't have the clutch bell here. It's actually sitting in the post office. But these are X-Ray clutch components. I found an X-Ray NT18 flywheel. So we're going to do an X-Ray flywheel clutch and clutch bell on the SH engine, and my biggest worry was that the engine shaft wouldn't actually be close enough to that gear, but as you can see, they're actually almost touching right now, which means I don't need a very big toothed clutch bell to make sure that they mesh from this upper gear to the housing. I might actually need to mount the engine a bit higher to give the clutch bell some space, because the middle of the engine is the middle of the clutch bell. So I expect somewhere in this area will be engine height. I'll have to make my own engine mounts. I knew that going in. I'll have to cut off all of this upper electric motor plate. Also knew that going in. And I'll have to do some fancy work with the transmission housing from stock, but whatever. It's possible. Everything will fit. The engine does sit low enough. I was concerned because of the transmission is down there. But the engine will sit low enough, and turns out it's actually a good thing that I got the RC airplane version, because that cooling head is lower profile. I'm going to have to tune it so that it doesn't blow up, but yeah, that's the game plan. We'll keep these lights running on the stock housings with our aftermarket battery, but it is possible, so full steam ahead. I'll let you know when I've got the engine mounted. Thanks for watching. You know the likes and subscribes all work. I will be selling this when it's done, so keep an eye out on this channel for that. It'll be posted up on eBay, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching. Check you next time.